Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
We are learning more about a deadly shooting at a Knott County campground.
Lexington police are searching for motive in an overnight murder Sunday.
And we're learning some new information about a former UK football player who was injured during Saturday's game. We'll have those stories and more, and breaking news as it happens. It's coming up on WKYT This Morning. Hello there. Good morning. Welcome. Good to have you with us on this Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Thanks for being along. And for the first track on the weather, let's turn to meteorologist Micah Harris.
Well, we're looking across the region, and we're actually under a first alert severe weather day. There you are looking outside, and we had some storms overnight, and those have since pushed into the eastern zones and trying to move on out. That's that first batch that we heard overnight. There's your second batch down toward the southern zones, and all that's going to be traveling eastbound. So if you're sitting across 127, say in Russell County, no doubt about it, you are hearing that thunder off in the distance, and it's about to roll right over that Russell Springs area and also Lake Cumberland region. Somerset heads up. You'll be seeing this in about 30-45 minutes. Columbia about to get in on the mix too. This is not your severe weather threat. That threat actually comes during the afternoon and off into the evening hours. Strong severe storms are expected, with damaging winds being your main threat, but we can't rule out possibility of an isolated tornado or two. We'll really break down these details and further going off into the day coming up in a few minutes.
See you in a bit. Let's get to the news this morning.
Kentucky State Police investigating a deadly shooting at the Knott County Trail Ride.
Police tell us that 21-year-old Miles Hamilton and 19-year-old Zachary Murphy were arguing early Sunday morning on the campgrounds. We're told they were both attending a trail ride event. After police separated them, investigators say Hamilton got a gun, went back over to Murphy, and then shot and killed him. Sean Barry spoke to police and the campers about the incident.
What was once basically a city of mobile homes and horse trailers has now pretty much cleared out here at the Knott County Trail Ride after a fatal shooting claimed the life of a teenager in the early hours of Sunday morning. A little after midnight Sunday, a shot rang out at the annual Fall Knott County Trail Ride. Police arrested 21-year-old Miles Hamilton after he shot and killed 19-year-old Zachary Murphy of Floyd County. Kentucky State Police say an argument started it all.
Found that two male gentlemen who both reside in Floyd County had become involved in a physical altercation. They'd gotten separated, and one of those individuals retrieved a handgun and shot the other.
The Knott County Trail Ride brought in close to 5,000 people over the weekend, making patrolling the area troublesome for police.
As far as the security, of course, when you get thousands of people in a location like this all together, it can be somewhat difficult to.
Lester Howard is a regular at these rides and thinks there should have been more police this year.
It needs to be added. Sure do. And they'd be on foot where they could see and hear people, you know, maybe stop it before it gets out of control, you know.
Despite this shooting, Howard says he will come back.
In real time, I mean, it's a real nice place to come and you bring your family and stuff and roast wieners or whatever you want to do, you know.
As of now, Kentucky State Police are still investigating. I was able to get in contact with the Knott County Tourism Office today and ask them what the shooting would do to the future of this trail ride. However, they were not willing to comment at this time. We will bring you updates as this story unfolds.
Now, we understand the victim, Zachary Murphy, would have turned 20 years old tomorrow. Lexington police are looking for two men who they say shot someone in an overnight home invasion. The man broke into the home on Addy Alley off 5th Street around 4 Sunday morning. Police say they killed Darnell Bates. Neighbors will always remember Bates as a generous and kind man. Bates' friends say he worked at a car wash on North Limestone. Workers there have set up a donation jar to help cover some funeral costs and to help support Bates' 11-year-old daughter.
He leaves behind his mother, children, brothers, cousins. It is a tragedy that should never happen.
Police say they are trying to figure out why Bates was shot.
New this morning, Lexington police are investigating an overnight injury accident that left a woman seriously injured. Happened just before midnight on Old Todd's Road. Police say a woman went off the road and struck a tree. She was taken to UK hospital with life-threatening injuries. The road had to be shut down for hours while forensics officers tried to reconstruct the scene. Investigators say they are still unsure what factors caused the woman to crash.
A London man faces murder charges this morning after a deadly crash in Clay County over the weekend. Kentucky State Police say 26-year-old Rodney Bowling was driving northbound on Highway 421 Saturday when he crossed into the other lane. We're told he hit a Ford Ranger head-on. Police say the driver of the Ford Ranger, Ronnie Mitchell, died at the scene. Crews airlifted 2 passengers in Mitchell's car to UK Hospital. They took Bowling to Manchester Memorial Hospital, where police later arrested him. He is charged with murder, assault, and DUI. A string of vandalism in a Lexington neighborhood has some church members saying enough is enough. On Sunday, a lot of residents living near St. John's Missionary Baptist Church called police to report that their cars had been vandalized at some point overnight. The damage included slashed tires and broken out windows. WKYT's Jordan Valines talked to some church members about the crime spree.
For decades,
25 years.
Velma Johnson has taken pride in her position as a bus captain of St. John Missionary Baptist Church.
We try to get people back and forth safely to church for praise and worship service.
A role with many responsibilities.
Wash, paint, everything with a vehicle. Just like I treat mine, I try to treat this same way.
So you can only imagine her reaction when she saw what happened to her pride and joy.
Oh, yeah.
On Saturday night.
This is all the damage that somebody else has to clean up. They busted out the 2 windows, all the glass is inside, and they've cut the tires right here.
Besides the church van, there were also 5 other vehicles that were vandalized in the neighborhood Saturday night, many of them having their windows broken and tires slashed, and police are still looking for whoever is responsible for those crimes. The church has been targeted by vandals before.
I wish they would just leave this alone.
But Johnson doesn't let frustration override forgiveness.
We forgive you, whoever done it. Just don't do it no more.
As for her final words for the folks who committed this crime,
we don't know who you are, but God knows everything, and he sees all. So you may not get caught today or tomorrow, but you will get caught.
In Lexington.
Definitely.
Jordan Valines, WKYT.
And Velma Johnson hopes to have the van there at the church repaired by the end of the week. At this time, she's unsure how much those repairs will cost.
We are learning more about the fan who fell from the stands Saturday night at Commonwealth Stadium. That fan, turns out, is a former UK football player. University leaders tell us Brad Durham fell from the upper deck to the lower deck right before the end of the game. A family member posted on social media that Durham is still in the ICU. A University of South Carolina cheerleader is recovering. Cheerleader Lauren West was injured during the first quarter of the game. Emergency crews carried her away from the sidelines on a stretcher. South Carolina's athletic department says crews did take West to the hospital as a precaution. Team physicians checked her out again this morning, saying she has a concussion. This is the second time this year a cheerleader has been injured during a UK football game.
It's now 4:38 on WKYT this morning. With the election now less than a month away, campaigns across the country and across the Bluegrass State are heating up. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray and his challenger Anthony Beatty went head-to-head last night here at WKYT. Our team worked with the Herald Leader, News Radio 630 WLAP, and the League of Women Voters to broadcast the mayoral debate. The both men discussed how they would work with law enforcement to combat crime. Now, to watch the entire debate, you can go to WKYT.com and click on our debate story.